All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for more One Piece. So let's get it started, shall we? I'm over here hitting the wrong buttons. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of One Piece. Today, we are going to be going through volume 65 of the series titled To Nothing. And like I said in my community post, not everyone may have seen it, but my series of reading through One Piece from the very beginning all the way up until when I started doing reactions for the series will end on August 11th. Not counting, and that includes me skipping tomorrow since I have that other prior engagement to take care of. I will be finished reading through all of One Piece, every single chapter, up until when I started doing reactions on August 11th. Now, mind you, when I started doing reactions, that wasn't the first chapters of One Piece that I read. It was actually back in Punk Hazard. But we'll be tackling that in the next volume. So let's go ahead and get started. The Story of One Piece, Volume 65. Having finished their 2 years of training, the Straw Hat crew reunites on the Sabaody Archipelago. They set sail more determined than ever to reach the New World. The Straw Hats finally reach Fishman Island, but are quickly ambushed by the new Fishman pirates. Their hatred of humans was caused by a long and terrible history of oppression. Now Hody Jones has sworn to destroy the Ryugu Kingdom, become the new king of Fishman Island, and eliminate anyone who hopes for peace with mankind. Princess Shirahoshi and her brothers want peace, and they stand up to Hody with Luffy's help. A massive battle is about to engulf the entirety of Fishman Island. So, the chapters we got today are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 chapters today. Chapter 637, The Ancient Ark. Decks of the New World, Volume 21, Drum Island, the Medical Center, 100 Doctors. And we got Dr. Correa here with all those doctors that, were forced to serve Wapple back then.
Captain Hody! But he took all those energy steroids and turned into a total monster. That couldn't have knocked him out.
No, look, he's fine. He can handle that kind of damage.
Yeah.
Man, he's tough.
Do you know Fishman karate?
And then Hody hits Luffy directly in the head with a punch. Ah! Knocked his head clean off! That was pretty easy! Just one shot to! That ain't gonna work, cause I'm made of rubber! Cause Luffy's head doesn't come off, it just stretches far behind him. Head armament! Gum gum!
Iron Shell Squad!
Here! Fool! Split your skull open on these shells! Mind you, these are the same shells that Zoro cut through easily. Bow! And Luffy not only destroys the shield, but hits the people holding the shields with, armament bell.
Ah! He destroyed steel with his head!
And then Luffy just flicks his and points to his head. And then Hody tries to do a spinning roundhouse kick on Luffy. But Luffy blocks it. Just like mind you, Hody has taken more energy steroids. His body is bigger than usual. His hair has turned completely white. He's even more engorged with power than ever before. And yet Luffy, just standing right there, just blocks his fist with one arm. Well, just blocks his kick with one arm.
What?
As Hody screams out in pain because he tried to hit Luffy and Luffy just merely blocking hurt him. And then Luffy puts armament on his leg, spins over Hody, and then delivers a solid hockey-imbued kick directly to his face, slamming him into the ground.
The Shock Arrow!
And Luffy is just dodging all of them. He's just like, weave, just over and over again.
They ain't hitting him! It's like he can sense them coming.
And then Luffy pulls one fist back, coats it in hockey, and then delivers another solid blow to Hody, sending him flying right back into the Concord Plaza.
Captain Hody!
And Tsurume is shocked to see it. Shirahoshi,
My goodness, Luffy is so terribly strong.
way to go, Straw Hat Luffy! I can see why this pirate's known all around the world. And then something starts moving in the background. Huh? What's that? The square got dark all of a sudden. And it's Noah, which is right above all of Fishman Island. What the? Isn't that Noah from the Fishman District? What's Noah doing in the sky over Fishman Island?
It's buried down on the square!
And look, it's about to break through the bubble's exterior. If the bubble pops, the water pressure will destroy the town, even before Noah crushes us flat. And Noah's huge. The ship Noah is absolutely massive, and it's starting to move closer to, trying to pierce through the bubble of the entire island.
What is that?
Noah? As Nami, Frankie, and Jinbei look up.
That ship could obliterate the entire island! Who's actually moving it? No one. Noah has no means of moving itself.
What is that?
It's huge!
Goes Brooke and Chopper, respectively.
Whatever's going on, I can tell we're all screwed!
If it flattens us all, will the sea be dyed red with our blood?
Evacuate, people! Flee to the waters outside the island! And Zoro's looking up, Sanji's looking up, Shirahoshi's looking up.
Isn't that...
Ah! Something else is falling!
And it's Waratsumi. You're Waratsumi, Dekken's henchman.
Owie! I slipped! Captain Vanner Decken! I fall out of the ship! Stop and wait for me!
Decken?
I don't want to die down here!
What does this mean? Captain Hody, are you alright? Is this some kind of strategy? It sounds like Dekken's moving the ship. Shut your worthless mouths. Darn that infernal straw hat. How tough can that guy be? I was attacking him with armament hockey. Decken, that insane fool. This wasn't part of the plan. There's no way for you to be saved now, Waratsumi! Once I've thrown something with these powers, it won't stop until it's hit something or obliterated its target. You're going to join this entire Fishman Island as a sacrificial victim in the death of Shirahoshi!
No way!
Princess Shirahoshi? You mean Decken threw Noah as he did those letters and axes?
We're all screwed! The bubble won't hold up!
Hey!
Hey, where'd the princess go? She ain't here!
Because Shirahoshi's gone. What? Princess?
Say what? Shirahoshi's gone?
You will find me right here!
Goes Shirahoshi, I guess. Yeah, Shirahoshi, and she's moved herself away from the Concord Plaza. As Noah continues to move towards her, oh, she knows. She knows. Princess Shirahoshi!
Princess! When did she get there?
Mermaid Princess!
What's Shirahoshi doing up there?
The ship is making a beeline for the princess. We've been careless enough to let her get free on her own.
Oh-ho! It's the love of my life!
Isn't my very life your target? Do not destroy the entire Ryugu Kingdom! All for the sake of stealing my solitary life! Do not do it! I am right here!
And Shirahoshi is purposefully putting herself in danger. Mermaid Princess! No, she's giving herself up for our sake!
Princess Shirahoshi!
Isn't there any way we could save her?
That's my Shirahoshi! Beautiful in both mind and body! Both beautiful in both body and mind! You try to protect your entire country by giving up your own life!
And then Noah is still looming overhead as Hodi's looking up. So that crazed fool thought he was going to destroy the entire island and us with it? He has betrayed our pact!
You will die with beauty so that you may live forever in my heart, Shirahoshi!
And Vanderdecken throws a knife, which immediately hits Shirahoshi in the shoulder. Princess! Noah's turning off course! It's going for Shirahoshi!
Don't do it! Swim for your life, princess!
Darn it, Wimpy Hoshi! I told you not to wander off!
Huh? Captain Hody? Where'd Hody go? Look up in the sky! Over there!
And Hody is hanging on to the chains of Noah. Always these little random bits of paper on my pages sometimes.
Right near the bottom of Noah!
And he's holding on to the chain of it.
Enough of your games, Van der Tekken. This is a good plan, however.
And mind you, he's still bleeding from the beating that he got from Luffy. Wait, Sanji! I'll go! You guys take care of the square!
All right, Luffy, listen up. The ship's in the water.
As it shows that Sanji was already using Skywalk in order to get up to the ship. Jinbei, is the ship going to be filled with water on the inside?
I don't know, but keep in mind that Tekken has powers. He'll have to leave enough air for himself. Take this if you're going. It's a piece of coral that emits bubbles. I'm leaving dear sweet Shirahoshi in your hands, Luffy. Get ready to fly.
Ready! As Luffy is holding one of those bubble corals in his mouth, and he's stretching over to Sanji, who's already airborne, preparing to launch over to where Hody is. And that's the end of chapter 637. We got an SBS, so we can move on to chapter 638. Hello, Odachi. I noticed that your readers always say start the SBS before you have a chance to. I love that about you. So here goes. Start the SB, sign Noriaki S. Huh? You mean I can really say it? You left the final letter just for me? Oh my gosh. This means so much to me. Ready? Here I go. Z! Oops, I said the wrong letter! Question. Panties, 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 panties. And it's just a person saying panties over and over again. Sign, count the panties. Stop, 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 stop! It's the curse of the panties again. 3 postcards full, covered with 3,787 panties. We counted. You're not getting in the SBS next time. There wasn't even a question, and some of them were weird words like penties and ponties. Question. I'm in 4th grade and I love Fisher Tiger. I can't wait for the newest chapter every week. Here's my question, Mr. Oda. What's in Kami's bag? Signed, Acerola number 1. Answer. Dreams, I bet. Also soy sauce and butter for eating clams with. Food. Question. Back in volume 10, Hachi claimed that he was the greatest sword user aside from one man back on Fishman Island. Would that one man happen to be Hyozu? If I'm wrong, please kill me. I don't suggest that quid pro quo. I wouldn't suggest it. Sign, Euroclydon. Answer. Actually, you're right. Was that question worth giving up your life over? They went to the same dojo for swordsmen, and Yozo would beat him every time. Chapter 638, Escape Hoshi. Decks of the World, Volume 22. Alabasta, Koza, Royal Environmental Minister. And it shows Koza along with Toto and that one kid that was found by Miss Doublefinger and Mr. One when, fake Cobra was going around letting everyone know that I'm the one who did all this stuff. He's grown a little bit as well. And everyone's looking at the news of the Straw Hat's return.
Noah's not crashing into Fishman Island after all. The princess drew the ship away from the island for our sake. Get away, princess. Find safety. Where do you think you're going? There's no escape for you.
Princess! If I don't get out into open sea, the island's bubble will burst.
And she's dripping blood off of her arm, but she's swimming away from the island.
The front entrance is too far away. We can't have the bubble get damaged enough to burst. Oh, I know. The last people out of Ryugu Palace were Luffy's companions.
Ain't there anything we can do? Goes the citizens.
Our princess is out there risking her life for us. And it's not her fault she's being singled out. Tekken's already on the ship and Hody's making his way there. Princess Shirahoshi's in terrible danger.
And it shows Hody steadily climbing the chain that's attached to Noah. Huffing and puffing because, Luffy messed him up bad.
Be careful of Hody, Luffy. The difference between human and fishman is stark within the water.
Okay.
Gotta be careful not to shoot him into the sea. Not too hard, not too soft. Armée de Liar!
Air assault! And then Sanji launches Luffy into the air, going full force. He goes straight through the bubble, but also manages to get onto... He goes straight through one layer, but also manages to get onto the chain that's in between Fishman Island as well. Dang, these chains are huge. I guess I'm between the two bubble layers. Luffy's location, Shirahoshi and Hody. Hody is lower down than Luffy is. Oh, Hody! He's still below that last bubble. Huh?
Everyone, pull! Even if we don't stop it altogether, we can at least slow the speed as it chases after the princess! We've got to slow it down every inch we can! Pull! Don't let Noah go after her! Evacuate to a safe location now, princess!
And the citizens have flown up in order to grab hold of the chain to keep it from going after Shirahoshi.
Pull! Pull! Protect the princess!
My people!
Are they sane? They're not going to budge this ship an inch.
Hey, don't do it! As Hody is preparing to use shark arrows again.
Shark arrows!
And multiple droplets of water start flying towards the citizens. And multiple citizens get skewered.
Serves you right, scum. It's fools like you who drag down the rest of us.
Oh no!
How dare he!
As I thought, the portal to Ryugu Palace is still open.
Hang in there, man! Princess Shirahoshi just popped out of the connecting tunnel into the sea! Look! Noah's going after her!
Go, princess, go! As far as you can!
And she's out in the open water, which is causing Noah to rise because it's still pressing into the bubble of Fishman Island. But it's starting to slowly rise off of the bubble. How tough is that bubble around the entire kingdom for it to still have enough tensile strength to withstand a whole ship hitting it? How much? But she goes into open water. Whoa, going up! And then Luffy is suddenly in the water, but he has enough strength to cause the bubble coral to envelop him in a bubble. Close one. Hey, wait for me!
In a world dominated by sea, a human who can't even breathe underwater can never rule the ocean. You will beg for mercy, inferior species.
As it shows Hody right behind Luffy holding his favorite little trident.
Bah ho 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 ho! Bah ho 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 ho! Shirahoshi! How does freedom taste, baby? No more shell tower walls to protect you, the way they did for the last 10 years. Will you die a blood loss first, or get crushed by the giant ship? What's it gonna be? I'll give you one last chance, Shirahoshi! If you say yes, I can guarantee your life! Just marry me!
And Vanderdecken is saying all this stuff while he's throwing knives at her. So I don't know if he realizes, but throwing weapons at people to convince them to marry you is going to convince that person not to marry you. I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you one last chance. Will you marry me? You don't say that while you're throwing weapons to try and kill that person. He's stupid. I'm just saying. Let me see. Oh, I almost lost track.
Shirahoshi!
Please forgive me, Sir Tekken. You're just not my type.
And then Vanderdecken is taken back by this once again. But instead of the knives hitting her, they clang against something. And it's her brothers, Mamboshi and Ryuboshi.
We'll never recognize any marriage with you.
Also, you will kill her before she can answer. Yeah. Vanderdecken's not that smart.
We'll never recognize any marriage with you. She's our only sister. You won't lay a finger on her, Decken.
Brother Mamboshi, Brother Ryuboshi, ho!
And, of course, Neptune's pet whale is there as well.
Bahoo! My brothers!
We're not your brothers.
What awful timing! Shirahoshi was just about to agree to marry me!
See,
What awful timing! Shirahoshi was just about to agree to marry me!
I'm so glad you're here. Everyone in the square was helping me, and they got attacked.
Ozzy, good to see you.
Stop it, Shirahoshi. Save your tears for later.
Huh?
You're angry with me? No.
We're not angry.
Father says Noah is a precious ship that must not be damaged for so long. We must return it to the ocean floor before it crashes into anything.
And then Noah is steadily making its way towards Shirahoshi, and it kind of hits one of the seabeds, like a formation in the ocean.
Look, here it comes!
That wasn't good. We have to be careful. Don't swim next to any slopes or trenches. Then where can
we go, Brother Mamboshi?
Up there are too many obstacles on the seafloor.
We'll turn back and take down Decken.
And then we cut back to the ocean, as where Hody Jones was about to face off with Luffy.
You're not getting away from me, Straw Hat.
As Fukaboshi was the one who rescued Luffy. Hey, thanks, man. You saved my bacon. How are you feeling? Now is not the time for me to give in to the pain. And then Hody takes out this long blade.
Shark Slicer.
And I think he puts it on his back. Like it's just like a regular blade. It doesn't have a handle. It's just the blade part. And
Shark Slicer.
And I think he puts it on his fin and swims next to Fukaboshi and Luffy and tries to slice him with it. Yow! But in the process, he cuts through a whole rock formation and a whole giant fish that's right next to it as well, as he spins. Go to the ship deck. It'll be easier to fight there. I just want to beat Hody and that guy who throws stuff. When I left the tower with Wimpy Hoshi, I promised her I'd protect her. The three of us will be great warriors like father and protect Shirahoshi with our lives. Please have no fear. We also have made promises of our own. I cannot stand to think that one little pill will leave us unable to stand up to common thugs like him. Forgive us, Straw Hat. We doubted your word. That's all right. Just take me to the deck.
Did you say deck? See you there.
Hody? And he cuts to Shirahoshi.
Must go up. Must go up.
And they keep flying upwards. They keep, not flying, but they keep swimming upwards.
Ah!
And then Hody is right up there with Vanderdecken.
Huh? There you are, Hody Jones. Bah ho 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 ho. Did you kill Neptune already? I'm just tormenting Shirahoshi now with this big old ship. Good idea, don't you think? Hey, brother!
And then Hody is just smiling. Before he then impales Vanderdecken.
If you die, what happens to the ship, Decken?
Because they're swimming right above Fishman Island. They're swimming right above it.
If you die, what happens to the ship, Decken?
And that's the end of chapter 638. Onward to chapter 639, but first another SBS. Question. Ah, yes, I see. Boom. I wasn't actually asking, though. Signed, Seto Byon. Answer. I didn't even say anything. Haha, I pulled a prank on you. Question. I have a serious question. You know how the Straw Hat Pirates each have their own Jolly Roger? Have you come up with new designs for them 2 years later? Signed, MQ, age 22. As a matter of fact, I had these done fairly early on. The merchandising companies would come to me with new designs, asking if they could use them. And I would say no and fix them up. So these are the official logos. Hey, it's hard to do that merchandising stuff, so here they are. We got Luffy's hat, we got Luffy's Jolly Roger, which hasn't changed. We got Zoro's Jolly Roger, which now incorporates not only his 3 swords, but his bandana and the cut over his eye. Nami's Jolly Roger has changed, where she has longer hair. Usopp's Jolly Roger has changed, where he has his hair and his goatee. Sanji's changed, where he has his goatee. Chopper has changed, where it's not just a regular hat anymore. It's the one with the bonnet on top. We got Robin with an even more flower pattern around it. We got Frankie, who's changed his face from how it looked before to the, buzz cut that he has. And then Brook has changed to incorporate his new world design with his crown and his sunglasses and his guitar behind him as well. Question. Lately in One Piece, it seems like Luffy runs across a whole parade of enemies with stronger and stronger powers. In most manga and anime, the hero has the best and most ultimate powers of all. So why did you choose something as weak sounding as rubber for Luffy? Signed, Hang in There, Japan. Answer. Good question. It is strange that he'd have that one, when there are so many cool powers out there. The answer is simple. I chose the goofiest power I could think of. I probably couldn't handle drawing a straightforward, cool, tough hero for this long. No matter how serious and dark the story gets, Luffy's still stretching and inflating and so on. He always gives me the chance to lighten the mood. That's the kind of manga I wanted to draw. Chapter 639, Protect Everything. Decks of the World, Volume 23, Kingdom of Alabasta, new clothes for this year's reverie. And we got Chaka and Pell getting suited, and on Pell you can see a lot of the markings. Well, you can see just the main scar he has on his body after, taking that bomb up. There's the massive scar that's on his, over his chest. So for the fact that he managed to walk away from that after getting blown up, and that's all he had to show for it, these Zoan users are scary strong. And they're still looking at information about the Straw Hats returning. But it shows Vanderdecken getting skewered by Hody. And then he falls over, while Hody just smiles after stabbing him.
Hody, you impudent fool!
And it shows that Vanderdecken also touched Hody. Because while he was stabbing him, Hody touched him on the back in this one panel. And then it shows a flashback of him touching him.
I touched you with my left hand! What the heck do you think you're doing?
And he throws an axe into the air.
It was you who turned to betrayal first, Decken. I felt my stomach sink when I saw that ship hovering over the island. On the other hand, breaking the island's bubble was a good idea. It will destroy Fishman Island, but there's still the Fishman District on the seafloor. If you die here, the effects of your power will wear off. The ship will plummet straight back down to the island and obliterate everything. The top priority right now is to make sure the Straw Hat crew is entirely wiped out. Thousands of my men will die, but I can always make more slaves. So, you want everyone to die? Very well then. You'll be the first!
As Vanderdecken tries to stab Hody in the front with his 2 extra feet, because Vanderdecken has multiple feet. He has multiple feet. Like Squidward, he has multiple feet, and he tries to use 2 of them to stab Hody, who bites onto Vanderdecken's leg.
Yeah!
And then Hody then swings Vanderdecken around because the axe that he threw earlier then returns. But instead of it going to hit Hody, it's going to hit Vanderdecken. And it does so.
No, you idiot!
And he immediately gets cut through by his very own axe. And Hody lets him go, and then Vanderdecken just falls down to the deck below as the Noah starts to fall. Well, I wouldn't say it's starting to fall, it's just still suspended in the air.
Now, before the ship can start to fall, I'll just make sure to kill Shirahoshi.
Decken's down! What's going on between them?
Hody's coming this way! Get out of my way, you measly vermin!
And still with the blade on his fin, he slices straight through Mamboshi and Ryuboshi.
Outside of Shell Tower, it'll be all too easy to kill you.
Go, Shirahoshi! Get away at full speed!
But it shows Shirahoshi being grabbed from behind, like Hody is already on Shirahoshi, grabbing her by the hair with his trident in hand.
Even the record speed of a mermaid is no match for me in this state.
Help!
Gum! Snake shot! And Luffy, with this new attack, stretches his arm towards Hody and grabs onto his midsection, which causes Hody to scream out in pain.
Gah!
Sir Luffy! Brother Fukaboshi!
It's just not as powerful here, because Luffy's in the water, and therefore his strength is kind of diminished. Forgive me, the preparations took some time.
Brother!
Straw Hat!
This is the bottom of the sea, inferior human. You don't stand a chance. You can't help Shirahoshi, or Fishman Island, or your crew. You don't have the strength to protect a single thing!
Wrong. I'll protect everything. That's what the last 2 years were for. Luffy right here saying like, hey, I didn't train for nothing. Meanwhile, at Concord Plaza,
Ah! Ah!
they're about the same size, but only one has any will to fight.
The Kraken will whip him up good! Captain Vanderdecken left me behind!
Come on, you big monster, stand and fight! Because Watatsumi is crying.
Ah!
Do something about that Kraken!
Giant monk, what is running through your head? Remember what Dekken told you. The square is in your hands.
Huh?
He had no intention of destroying the island in the first place. Not true.
Really?
That's right. Now swallow this. Remember whose side you are on, and crush the Straw Hat crew. As he tosses, I guess he tosses one of those energy steroids to Watatsumi. Energy steroids? They won't work on such a huge guy.
Ah!
Wow, I guess his body is really susceptible to pills. As Watatsumi starts beating up Tsurume.
Sorry for doubting you, Captain Decken!
Yeah, he knocked that Kraken right out.
Come on, Tsurume! Snap out of it!
Goes Usopp.
Where are the bad guys?
Right there, Watatsumi!
As one is pointing towards Jinbei.
I'm on it!
And then Watatsumi starts to swing around in order to hit Jinbei.
Watch out, Jinbei!
Goes Nami.
7,000 brick? Roundhouse kick!
And Jinbei, with a single roundhouse kick, stops the fist of Watatsumi in an instant. And it looks like there's a crack sound. I think he broke his finger just from that.
No!
And Jinbei's just looking at him. After Watatsumi feels the pain of not only getting his hand hit, but I think he also hit over Watatsumi's body as well. And then he topples onto some more of the new Fishmen pirates.
What? How can he knock back someone so much larger?
And Watatsumi falls down.
Nami! She got knocked over by the wind from that crash. Back on your feet, scum!
As Sanji...
Stay away from Jinbei!
But Sanji comes up and he kicks Watatsumi in the head because the wind from him falling knocked over Nami.
Ow! Who hit me this time? That hurt!
Watch out! His kicks are powerful too! Against a monster like a mountain? How strong are those legs?
How are you gonna make up for it if you leave one scrape on our beautiful navigator?
We'll be your opponents, giant monk.
You'll pay with your life, Jumbo Dumpling. Watatsumi, the giant monk, versus Sanji and Jinbei.
What's with these guys?
Stop! Don't!
Yeah! Someone help!
And it cuts to something happening right near Robin. Don't do this to us! We're on your side! Is something wrong with him? This isn't his usual drunken style! He's way stronger than usual! Tottering hash! And then we cut to Hyozo, who cuts through multiples of his own men. Yeah, even our steel can't stop him! Because he not only cuts through his own men, but he also cuts through their swords. And he's still drunk. He was writhing around earlier without having taken a single hit! Huh?
Even isn't that the same as when Hody went through his awakening?
You know, I think I saw him chowing down on energy steroids with his booze. You should not. What do you mean? That's dangerous! That's dangerous. Chugging alcohol with steroids? That's just a recipe for trouble. You know, I think I saw him chowing down on energy steroids with his booze.
That's what it was! That's what it was! Now Hyozo's a monster too!
Yeah. I could feel power overflowing. I just want to slice someone. Run for it, people! There's no way to defend yourself! As Hyozo makes a beeline for Robin, who gets saved by Zoro! And there's a massive clash, and Hyozo's not able to slice through Zoro's swords.
Whoa! Stopped him in his tracks!
Zoro?
Sorry, this one's mine. He might be a good warm-up before we head into the new world. And then Hyozo is just like red-nosed and smiling drunkily, and he burps. Zoro versus Hyozo. And that's the end of chapter 639. Onwards to 640, but first another SPS. Greetings! Here's my question. My sister asked me, is Ishili, the cute droopy-eyed freckled mermaid at the mermaid inlet, a parrotfish mermaid? Can you answer that for me? She also said, what are the fish models for the other mermaids? Sign, V, and UU. Answer, yes, that's correct. Ishili the parrotfish, the striped girl who was among the mermaids Caribou kidnapped. As it happens, all those beautiful mermaids at the inlet are dancers at the Mermaid Cafe. I hear their dances are so gorgeous they would probably kill Sanji. I can believe it. Here's an introduction to the Mermaid Cafe's top 5 dancers. So we have Ishili, who is a parrotfish mermaid. We have Kyron, who's a soul mermaid. Then we have Hiramela, who's a flounder. We have Sarah, who's a marine angelfish. And we have Mello, who's a garfish. Hello, our whole family loves reading One Piece. I've noticed that in the story you write the sun in Sun Pirates and phonetic kana rather than Chinese kanji. Is there a reason for that? I've always found it curious. Sign, Maki. Answer, I see. This actually wasn't an intentional choice on my part. It's just something I always found myself doing. Let's say, for example, I'm writing dialogue for children, or when Luffy's being particularly stupid. In these cases, I often use much fewer complex kanji and more simple phonetic spelling. That's because those characters may not really grasp the meaning of what they're saying, and the precise definitions of the kanji would probably be too complicated for them. Now, consider this. The fishmen are speaking of a sun that exists far above the miles of water over their heads. It's something they rarely ever see, something beyond their knowledge. That's why I chose to write it with simple kana rather than more precise kanji. It just makes more sense to me. Chapter 640, Above Fishman Island. Decks of the World, Volume 24, Kingdom of Alabasta, Vivi, age 18. As Vivi, along with Karoo and Eyelashes, are just casually strolling through town. And they're having themselves a good old time while she's still carrying a newspaper with her. And then we cut back to Waratsume.
What's that for? Take this, you overgrown...
Take this, you overgrown dumpling! As it shows Sanji in the air with Waratsume. But here's the thing. It's a far-off view of Waratsume. And Sanji's like very small, like a small dot. And yet it has detail while he's fighting him.
Scoundrel! How dare you knock Nami over with your wind pressure?
What's this chick doing?
Black Ball!
Careful, that rod of hers has been shooting all kinds of nasty stuff, all kinds of stuff around.
What is she, a sorceress? That's Miss Sorceress to you. Thanks, though to be honest, it's not magic, but carefully applied science.
and she says black ball, and this long string of black balls emanates from her magic climate baton. And they all start to turn into clouds. Are those clouds?
Storm Cloud Rod!
And swinging this long rod around, she engulfs every single new fishman pirate around her in electricity, electrocuting all of them.
Yo! Stay away from me, you fools! You turn me into dried squid! Aha! She must be responsible for this.
Ikaros!
Moochie!
The man in the black suit panicked when she was knocked off her feet. I suspect she is the weak link of their group. I'll hold her feet and you skewer her.
Sounds like a plan.
Then all of a sudden, Zio, who is the striped member of the new Fishman Pirates, grabs onto Nami's legs.
Huh? What's going on? I can't move my legs!
Moochie! Feel the wrath of my dried squid spears! You'll be the party snack this time!
Wait a second. Why can't I move my legs? Someone help!
What? Is that Nami I hear? Oh, that reminds me.
Ah!
Might I take a quick gander at those pantaloons? Ah! As Brooke runs in, takes the squid spear from Ikaros, while Nami punches him in the face, going,
Absolutely not!
Moochie! He's another one of them! Very well, I'll suck you up like a squid too! Do your work, dry squid spear! What's the matter? Why aren't they sucking out his moisture and turning him into a shriveled husk?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm already a shriveled husk. How did you not notice that Brooke was a skeleton? How did you not?
He's very dense, isn't he? What? No, wait! Nobody is like that!
Ain't there anybody around here who can actually put up a fight?
As Frankie comes in with his big old giant mech and punches Ikaros directly in the face, denting his helmet in.
Ow!
Ikaros!
Ah, who did that to me?
Oh, you must be one of their leaders, huh? You better have more of a backbone than the others.
Oh, put a squid on it! Of course I got a backbone!
General Frankie versus Ikaros match! Hey, skeleton, you better skedaddle, man!
Oh no, it's actually stepping on him!
Huh? Oh, as it shows that Zio is still underneath Nami holding onto her, but Brooke kind of stepped on his face.
Huh? There's someone down there!
My goodness, who are you?
So the reason I couldn't move was because this guy was holding me down.
Sorry, I read that wrong.
How do you like this?
Like what?
I've been headbutting the sole of your foot. You may not feel it now, but the throbbing will certainly come to discomfort you after some amount of time.
He just can't admit that the guy is stepping on his face!
I'm terribly sorry for standing on you.
Don't point it out! I call that the Super Soul Headbutt.
He even gave it a name!
Brooke versus Zio. And then we cut to another location where people are falling through the ground.
Ah! Stop it, Dodoma! Stop digging all those tunnels right beneath the surface! They keep collapsing! Ah! Where'd that coral head go, eh? Yeah! You can't beat me underground!
That's one of the straw hats. The fool is utterly helpless. Kadoom!
As we cut to Dosan, who's aiming for Usopp.
Chopper! Get up here!
Got it! I'm coming up!
I'm gonna pound you flat, Zugong!
I smell the enemy! Usopp! Duck!
And then Chopper flies into the air
Hard cannon! Elf!
and hits Dosan directly into the face.
Did you connect all the holes, Chopper?
You bet I did!
Special attack! Green Star!
And then Usopp shoots directly into the tunnels.
Skull Bomb Grass!
and all the tunnels just explode as Dharma is launched high into the air.
We learn how to deal with hole diggers back in Alabasta.
Referring to Miss Wednesday. Oh, no. Referring to Miss Merry Christmas.
Experience wins out in the end. So it was you!
As Dharma is right behind Usopp.
I'll get you, coral creature!
As Dolson is aiming for Chopper.
I'm gonna chew that nose right off your face! All right, Chopper, get my back. Hey, you got my back, right? Chopper?
Dharma versus Usopp.
Once you've seen my strength, you will know despair, Zabwam!
If it's strength you want, I got something for that.
As it shows Chopper holding a Rumble Ball. Remember, he said he's able to freely change into all of his forms without a Rumble Ball, so it means that there's only one form that he requires for him to use. Dolson versus Chopper!
Whoa, look at that guy! He's blocking every strike!
As we cut back to Zoro versus Hyozo. Huh.
Owie! No, how can that hurt so much? He's so small!
And we cut back to Watatsumi versus Jinbei. If the bosses go down, we're helpless out here!
Don't hold them back! Rally to their aid!
Then we see the other citizens who are being tended to by other merfolk, along with Madame Charlie. Tend to the wounded. Darn that Hody! Are the princess and princes all right? What's gonna happen, man?
What's gonna happen, Madame Charlie?
Ravi, good to see you. We are currently on volume 65 of One Piece. We're doing hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, Madame Charlie? Is the island really gonna be destroyed?
Princess! Now we're back at the Noah with Hody, Shirahoshi, the brothers, the princes, Luffy, and Vanderdecken. But Vanderdecken's kind of down for the count right now. And they continue to swim upwards.
You'll protect everything, Straw Hat. Very bold words.
Ow, bit my tongue.
Very bold words indeed. But it's much too late for that.
Brother Ryu! If Deccan's been knocked out, does that mean?
Yes, we're in big trouble here. If Deccan's powers run out while the Ark is right over the island, the worst could come about. Shirahoshi, alter the ship's course to the
Shark Slicer!
And Hody slams right into Ryuboshi and slices through him. Happy One Piece Day to all. Is it One Piece Day today? Is it One Piece Day? Hold on. One Piece Day. It is! Wait. Yeah, they're celebrating One Piece Day today and tomorrow. Because tomorrow will mark 20 how many years? Because One Piece started serialization on the July 22nd. So I think One Piece Day, how many years has it been active? 23? Has it been 23 years? Has it been 23 years? I think it has been. Whose daughter was Charlie? I have no idea. Sorry, let me focus here. But Hody, yeah, One Piece Day. They're celebrating it today and tomorrow. So, yeah, happy One Piece Day. How did I miss that? How did I not notice that's such a big thing going on?
Shark Slicer!
And Hody slices through Ryuboshi.
Ryuboshi!
Don't be getting any funny ideas now. I took Deccan out on the spot because I wanted his powers to falter here.
Oh, I see. In this position, the Ark's just gonna fall back down on the island, and then just after Wimpy Hoshi tried to draw it away. Take me over to her, brother Hoshi. Here we go. And Shirahoshi's looking back.
Not so fast.
As Hody gets in the way.
I need to be certain that you and all your little friends die.
Oh, Shirahoshi's getting away to the side!
What?
I'm right here, Noah.
So you've sniffed out my plan, have you?
Wait! You're not going after her! Can't get a good grip! As Luffy tries to grab onto Hody, but it's not as strong because he's underwater.
Follow me, Noah.
Curses! Just let go of me. I can't have that ship falling away at the wrong angle. Just die already, Tekken! As long as he's got a sliver of consciousness left, that ship won't fall.
Not a girl, Wimpy Hoshi! The ark's leaning off to the side! Inside Noah. Dekken is still alive.
Oh! Darn that, Hody! He's gonna pay for this! You're my left-hand target now, buddy! I'm gonna be on your trail until the day you die! And it'll be me that kills! Huh?
And he slips. Vanderdecken slips and then slams his head onto, like, a corner and knocks himself out. Huh? Oh no! Noah's falling!
Just in time. I've won, you fools!
Best day to drop off a live action trailer? Yeah, it probably is. If there is one, I'll probably react to it once I'm done reading this.
I've won, you fools!
Ah! Goes Luffy. Everyone's looking scared. And we have Vanderdecken, who's foaming at the mouth and unconscious. Fishman Island is in terrible danger!
Oh,
And that's the end of chapter 640. We got 641, but another SBS first. Odachi! Canned mackerel is good, huh? Signed, Mac Mackerel. Answer: yeah, it is. My favorite is canned onion mackerel. It's too good. Question: in the volume 64 scene where the Fishman Island kids tell Luffy to fight for them, there's a guy who says, I agree with them. I noticed that his shirt says Soregaiyo, which is the same line in Japanese but written in the Western alphabet. What does it mean? Signed, Trafalgar Law. What species is the girl in chapter 633 wearing the shirt that says Tegatutsui, two pair of hands, signed Takaaki T. Answer: here are two questions. As for the girl, I didn't think of a fish species for her, but I bet she'd be some kind of ancient fish. The fishmen based on ancient species tend to have many fins. As for the shirts in general, you may notice that I became obsessed with explanation shirts in this arc, where I drew characters wearing clothes that repeated one of the original Japanese lines of dialogue from that panel. Look carefully, and you'll see them everywhere, even in this book. Something's bothering my nose right now. I'm sorry, but it's messing with me. Question: I noticed something wrong with your story, Mr. Oda. There's nothing wrong with it. When the king and princesses were tied up, they seemed to be in pain, right? Isn't that weird? I would have thought their faces would be full of pleasure, like mine is when I get tied up. You're the same, right? Sign, Chagero Kiyomizu. Answer: you towering fool! What are you saying? Children read this manga. Aha, yo Chagero Kiyomizu, the pervert. I got your address this time. Hey, officer, see that guy right there? The one who's all tied up and enjoying it? Arrest him at once. Huh? What do I have to do with this? What? Why are you arresting me too? Just because I'm not wearing any pants or underwear? This is an outrage. Hey, don't handcuff me. I have a deadline to meet. Officer! Officer! Hey! Chapter 641, What Are You? Decks of the World, Volume 25. Kingdom of Alabasta. Cobra on his sickbed. And Cobra's just laying up in the bed while Vivi brings him flowers, apple, and he's reading the paper. And Igaram's right behind him.
He finally kicked the bucket. Dekken's powers have worn off. Noah will now plunge straight downward for Fishman Island. Die, Straw Hats! Die! All you fools who interfered in our vengeance!
And Noah is just slowly falling towards Fishman Island. Darn that Hody! If it collides, everything is ruined! Oh wait, if it collides, everything is ruined. Our kingdom will be gone, and so will Noah's mission, which we have protected dutifully for centuries.
Listen, my sons. That ark is no mere historical ruin. It sits on the seafloor, waiting for the fulfillment of a promise made with a great man centuries in the past. It is a ship that has yet to fulfill its purpose. Even the methods of its creation are long lost. And so, Noah cannot be harmed until its promised day.
I understand, Father. We will go and find out why it has moved and put a stop to it. And this is a flashback when the princes were free and Neptune was free as well.
Just try to stop Noah. Was your bold claim to protect everything just hot air?
Oh, stop it! I'll smash this ship to pieces before it reaches the island! No, Straw Hat. Even if that were possible, I told you that ship bears both our long past and our future. Is there any other way to save the island then? We don't have much time. It's the only thing that comes to mind. Tekken might still be alive. If he regains his wits, we might be able to change the ship's course and save both. Something's going on with my nose. I need to figure that out right now. I really hope it's not what I think it is. If it's good, if I'm fine, then I'll be back quickly. But if it's not, give me a minute. I just had to blow my nose. Let us continue. We are all right. I thought it was something like in the back of my head. I was thinking like, I hope whatever's in here is not leading to a nosebleed of any kind, because I just went through that yesterday. Luckily, I took care of it before I got to work, but I hate it when it happens because it makes me get up from my chair when I'm working, and I don't like that. But thankfully, that wasn't the case. Is there any other way to save the island then? We don't have much time. It's the only thing that comes to mind. Tekken might still be alive. If he regains his wits, we might be able to change the ship's course and save both. But what if it turns out he's dead?
Having a little fight, are we?
Please, Noah, stop! The island is full of people dear to me. Lord Tekken, if you're alive, please set your target on me again. Just spare Fishman Island!
Stay away from the ship, Shirahoshi!
Goes Mamboshi.
Fishman Karate!
Shirahoshi!
Sea Drum!
And using Fishman Karate, Hody takes out Mamboshi. Just takes him out.
Brother Mamboshi!
But then, before Hody can get close to Shirahoshi, arms grip onto him.
Straw Hat!
As Luffy zips over to Hody. And Hody takes this opportunity to bite into Luffy. But Luffy uses Gear Second as he's preparing to hit Hody. But what Hody doesn't realize is that he's brought his face into the bubble where Luffy can hit him. And he does so by hitting him directly in his midsection, sending Hody flying into the Noah. Darn! Armament Hockey is tough against blows, but my Hockey isn't good enough to stop stuff like this yet. As he takes a whole set of teeth out of his shoulder, being reminded of Arlong Park here.
So you want to fight on the falling ship?
And Hody comes out of the hole he was knocked into and proceeds to regrow all his teeth back again.
But what you want is the air on the deck.
Duh! So that's his plan.
The larger a cut, the less the bubbles can handle it. Ja!
As a big bubble starts to emanate from the Noah, he cuts into the Noah to let all the air release. Bobby Fran, hi, hello, enjoy yourself while you're here while we're reading One Piece. Mind you, if you have anything to say about the newest chapter of One Piece, I do not read early scans. I only read them on Sundays, so if you're letting me know about anything of that nature, then that's how I do things. I don't read early scans, I only read official chapters when they release. But other than that, happy you're here. Enjoy the voices and the dramatic reading of One Piece and its Fishman Island arc. Darn it! All the air's gone!
That's all it takes to make a human helpless. There's no way you could ever be superior to our kind. You cannot stop Noah. You cannot even defeat me.
Don't interfere in this, Hody. Have you any idea how many lives are on that island? Who do you think you are?
Ultramarine!
And Fukaboshi uses the same move that his father uses and launches a big torrent of water towards a dense torrent of water towards Hody, which he dodges out of the way. How can you do these things, Hody? As he tries to hit Hody, but Hody just dodges out of the way before he uses his shark slicer to slice through Fukaboshi, shocking both Shirahoshi and Luffy.
Brother Fukaboshi!
Brother Hoshi! But Fukaboshi's still conscious as he grabs onto the scruff of Hody's neck like the would that be a dog, like a sea dog or a regular dog of some kind? Wrapped around his neck, he grabs onto it, surprising Hody. What are you? You bear vengeance against humankind, the rage of the Fishman people, and turn that back against Fishman Island. Now you've chosen not to conquer the island after all, but wipe it off the map. You've even turned your back on your friends for the Fishman District. You despise humans more than anyone else. And once you've done all these things, what will you have left? What in the world happened to you in the past? What did the humans do to you? Then I guess Hody says something to Fukaboshi. And that shocks him. And then we see Shirahoshi shocked. We see Luffy, Momboshi, Ryuboshi. And then we see Fukaboshi getting sliced by the slicer once more.
Brother Fukaboshi!
Straw Hat Luffy! We're the guys from the air tank you met a few moments ago. We've overheard everything going on. Noah's in our sights now as it falls towards the island. Our preparations are complete.
Huh? Did you say deck? See you there.
Did you say deck? See you there.
This is a flashback to Luffy from back then. Go after him, Brother Hoshi! Wait, you're our only hope in this, and this is the bottom of the ocean.
Princess Fukaboshi!
Fishman.
Princess Fukaboshi!
Fishman Island's front gate.
Head to the air tank, all of you! We need a whole lot of air! Be on guard so that you can fire the island's air-regulating cannon at a moment's notice!
Don't worry, there's air on the deck, right? I'll just beat him up there. Decking may be one thing, but Hody's certainly not going to let you fight on fair ground. Here, take this baby transponder snail. And mind you, these are flashback moments before all the major fighting was happening. And then we cut back to the present.
Be vigilant, men! Let's hurry!
And now we have Luffy in the hands of Shirahoshi now.
Luffy, what should we do about Noah? All my brothers are gone.
Hey, hello! How'll you give me air? Huh? We can shoot out all the air in the tank into a bubble that can completely envelop Noah. The bubble has no buoyancy of its own, so the air cannot actually lift Noah. It won't stop the ship from sinking. It hurts us to admit, but we have to leave our fate entirely in your hands.
I don't care about the fine print. Just do it. If there's air, I can manage.
Understood. Here goes, Luffy. Fishman Island's in your hands. Straw Hat, Shirahoshi, what do you think you can accomplish clinging to Noah? What can a human and a mermaid princess do? Shark Slicer!
As Hody aims directly for Luffy in his bubble. But Luffy snaps off. Luffy snaps off the slicer with his bare hands and then punches Hody away, sending him flying. Well, sending him flying through the ocean. Does it still count as flying if you're in the ocean? Does flying only count if you're in the air? Sending him torpedoing? Would that be a good alternative? Sending him torpedoing through the ocean. But then he rights himself. Jeez, how tough is he? Because Luffy also used armament hockey in that punch that sent Hody away.
Give it up, human! Just the sight of you makes me sick. No matter how much of my life I must shorten, no matter how much I must sacrifice, I will have my revenge on humankind!
Careful! We only have one chance! As we cut to the air guard that's aiming towards the Noah. Hey, Straw Hat! As it cuts to Fukaboshi, who's still, conscious and floating through the ocean. Can you hear me?
That's Brother Fukaboshi!
I finally know Hody Jones's true nature. And that's the end of chapter 641. Onwards to chapter 642, Lost All Face. A few minutes earlier, in the forest of the sea.
All the whales and fish are fleeing the forest. This is serious. Something must be happening to the island.
And this is Den, brother of Tom, with Kami and Hachi.
If it was a fair fight, Jinbei and the Straw Hats would waste them. But Hody won't let that stop him.
What do you mean?
Goes Kami.
Old Captain Tiger must have been afraid of this very thing.
Fishman Island. Everyone evacuate the island! The Minister of the Left has issued the command! Coral Hill.
I have no idea what's happening, but that was definitely Noah about to crash the island. If it starts to fall towards us again, this place is done for.
The minister's right. Let's get out into the sea. I got a message from the square. They say it was Princess Shirahoshi who lured Noah away from the island.
Huh?
Water Wheel District.
So it was Decken who moved Noah.
That's what they say.
That creepy stalker, so he's finally taking it to the next step.
And not in a good way. Coral Apartments.
We don't know when it might come crashing back. Everyone off the island!
Is it true the princess acted as a decoy?
How can we run for safety while she's in harm's way?
She brought us this time to escape by risking her life. Are you gonna sit around and let her sacrifice go to waste?
Get
off the island!
And everyone is trying to evacuate. Your Majesty, are you alive and well? And it cuts to Neptune, who's just resting by himself. Forgive us, Your Majesty. Your loyal servants have failed you.
Enough. Have you seen Noah?
Yes!
Damnation. Who could have foreseen the ship moving once again? That accursed Decken. If it had hit both the island and the princess, everything I have would be gone. Literally.
That was on the edge of my nose. I was waiting for it.
We weren't certain what was happening, so we thought it was prudent to issue an evacuation alert to the citizens just in case.
And this is the Minister of the Left.
Yes, that is fine.
Then hurry, Your Majesty.
No, I will wait for the princess.
And then we have the Minister of the Right and the rest of the Neptunian army.
What is this? Explain this! Someone! Anyone! Why are there so many pirates?
Because he's just now getting to the location. He's just now getting to the location where the battle's happening. And he sees all the defeated sea beasts, including the Kraken in the back.
The Straw Hats. Jinbei. The princess did? Hody. Deacon, yes, I see. I understand the particulars. All soldiers to the square! Support Jinbei and the Straw Hat crew! If we can subdue their main forces, only a small handful of fighters remain. If our country has to be protected by pirates that we arrested and charged with false crimes, then we have lost all face. At least give them the respect of their assistants.
Yes, sir!
And you, onlookers, leave this place at once. Flee the island.
No way!
Goes a child.
What? That goes especially for women and children. Now go!
Those human pirates are standing up to fight for the island, so how can we run away behind their backs?
Yeah, we're the ones who asked them for help.
If they fight for us, we'll share their fate.
I agree. Me too, Minister.
This is no time to be admiring their resolve. Hurry into the square, men!
Right away.
It's your duty to pass on the message. Pass my words on to all the onlookers around the square. Everyone will have their own thoughts on the matter. If you choose to stay after that, so be it!
As the minister floats down to the square with the rest of the soldiers.
It's Neptune's army. We can put a stop to them. Take them down! Let's go, slave tank. Now take me that way.
As we cut to Hammond, who we haven't seen all day. We haven't seen Hammond all day, and he's back up, and he has a bunch of humans carrying him on this big stand that has cannons attached to it. And then one of the slaves falls behind.
Great, another dud. Cut him loose and pop in a fresh slave. Worthless weaklings.
And then Robin, with her shades on, sees people falling and, getting left behind.
What a terrible thing to do. What's this? Intimidation! Mega Monk!
And then Waratsumi inflates his body to an even bigger size.
Yeah, he was already big enough as it is.
Is there a point to doing that? Goes Sanji as he's standing on Waratsumi's face.
Surprised? I'm a fugu fishman. You scared?
No. How come you're talking so fast?
I gotta talk fast before air leaks out.
You know the Kraken's still bigger than you.
What? Then try this out.
He's pushing us out of the way.
We'll be squashed.
Sanji is making this man inflate himself even more. This is all part of the plan.
Ah! Hey! Help! Stop it, Waratsumi! You're crushing your own guys! Hey!
Still smaller than the Kraken.
Oh yeah? Then how about?
Nico Robin, can you free the human slaves?
Are you sure? They already despise this place for what they've been through.
If they're pirates who hate us and seek to destroy us, we'll fight them off. But these men are not even human at this point. I cannot stand by and watch Hody and his men act like celestial dragons any longer.
Fine, I'll handle it.
Thank you.
And we see Waratsumi growing to an even larger size. Then we cut back to Frankie, as Ikaros is fighting him.
Wings of Icaros!
And he starts shooting. He's shooting like... What is he shooting at Frankie? He's shooting something at Frankie, with Frankie blocking it completely because he's still in his general Frankie.
Pew, pew, pew!
Wings? Those aren't wings. They're just spitballs!
As Frankie bashes Ikaros over the head.
Too bad, Muchihi. That was my ink double.
Oh, because it looked like he's splattered and blew off Icaros's head. It looks like he did that, but that wasn't it.
Mess with the officers and you'll...
Frankie Fireball!
And shoots a fireball at Ikaros.
Oh, gee! I'll be burned to a crisp!
Yes, General Frankie's new special attack! A fireball shot straight out of his chest!
What'd you say?
Wait, you shot it?
Because the fireball came from Frankie. All of these big artillery shots are coming from Frankie, opening up the chest cavity and then launching them in himself from his own body and not from actual General Frankie.
You dare disgrace me by looking away in the middle of a fight? Kapow!
Heavy point!
T-shot!
Heavy Gaku!
And Chopper, in his new, more buff heavy point, clashes with Dosun's hammer.
Ow!
You stop my hammer with your bare hand?
I guess this isn't the best form for dealing with hammers.
Hey, Chopper, the only humanoid form of yours is looking pretty monstrous these days. And this is Zoro talking to Chopper.
I don't mind anymore. The only reason I wanted to be human was to make friends. I'm fine being a monster for Luffy's sake.
Gotcha. Ooh, mama! I want to slice up those fools smiling on a battlefield. And we cut back to Hyozo versus Zoro. I was giving you the chance to escape from my reach. Bring me the actual strongest swordsman on Fishman Island. As it shows that Zoro, he split Hyozo's swords right down the seam. Now, when we see swords in anime, we see the black blunt edge, and then we see the white or silver sharp edge. Zoro sliced all of his swords straight down the seam that separates the two, the more tempered edge. He just destroys his swords. Bring me the actual strongest swordsman on Fishman Island. You ain't even worth killing time. Whoo! Love Zoro. That's the end of chapter 642. Onwards to 643. How much more do I have to go? Oh, 3 more after this one. We're doing pretty good. We're only an hour and 16 minutes in. We're doing pretty good. We got an SBS and we can move on to chapter 643. Question: out of all the characters in One Piece, who's your rival? It's Frankie, right? I just thought I'd ask. Signed, Toku. Answer: who says? Who would you not put words into my mouth? You're acting like I'm some kind of pervert. Let's see. If anyone's going to be my rival, it'd be Nami. I had my measurements taken for a suit and my chest was 39 inches. Huh? My waist? Somewhere between 20 and 39 inches. Basically, I'm saying I have centerfold proportions. Next letter. Question. Sorry. There we go. Can Princess Shirahoshi's birthday be April 4th? Can it, please? Sign, Dokoi. Like Ashigara Dokoi. Answer. Sure. Question. So Luffy Supreme King Haki can knock out 50,000. How many can Shanks knock out with this? Sign, Captain Nobu. Answer. For those who are not caught up with One Piece, if only you knew. Question. Answer. If they were in the exact same situation as Luffy's, Shanks and Rayleigh could probably manage up to 100,000. You really can't compare how many in different situations. Defeating someone with Haki is a phenomenon that only occurs when the user is overwhelmingly more powerful than the opponent. Basically, it's showing how many of Luffy's opponents weren't even worth fighting. If Luffy were facing 100,000 pirates of a certain strength, he might not be able to knock out a single one with Haki. By the way, by training and practicing one's Haki of the Supreme King, you can pick a few out of a crowd and spare them from its effects. The fact that with Conqueror's Haki, if you have enough practice and mastery over it, you can select which people not to be affected by the massive wave that emanates from it. Like, you can aim it, because we've seen it with Rayleigh. He's able to aim it in a cone-like fashion, but only those with, like, strong wills, and those you pick out specifically will then be spared from it. So just think about how that works. And that's the end of the SBS. Chapter 643, Phantom! Decks of the World, Volume 26. The Monkey Mountain Alliance seeks Nakroa, Island of Dreams. And we got Mont Blanc Cricket here with the two Monkey Bros, Masida and Shoujo. I think his name is it Shoujo? I think it's Shoujo. Masida and Shoujo. And they're just sailing off for places anew. Then we got more people fighting. The Neptune soldiers fighting the pirates, one after the other. The Minister of the Left is putting in that work. He is the type of general that will be there in the thick of the fight, not watching it happen on a hilltop, like Napoleon. Then all of a sudden, the collars of the human slaves that were imprisoned, enslaved by Hody, they suddenly fall off. with a hand unlocking all of the chains.
Our shackles are off! Hey, what's going on? Who done did the slaves' shackles?
And then it cuts to Robin, who's the one unlocking everyone's shackles. And the slaves immediately turn on Hammond and drop the whole stand where the cannons were. He just like,
What are you slaves doing?
was it you? Why did you save us?
I can't turn down a request from a handsome man. If you want to thank anyone, it should be Jinbei.
Now you've gone and done it!
Duh.
Aha! I got you now!
As Hammond threw a net over Robin, but she quickly disappears, showing that it's actually a fake clone.
Huh?
Cuerpo fleur.
And the body of Robin emanates, pretty much just appears and grows out of Hammond's body.
What? How did you get on my back?
And then more arms start to sprout all over Hammond. Like, the one part, I know I said like a lot, it's starting to grab all over his neck, with multiple arms holding on to his neck. And then another body appears on his back again, and lower on his back, and starts grabbing his legs.
It'll be over soon. Just relax.
Huh? Hey, let go! Wait, how are there two of you? Hey!
Double clutch! As she not only breaks his legs, but also breaks his neck as well. This man literally just showed up after getting healed, after Luffy bodied him and the others that were with him. He literally just showed up after getting healed, only to be one-shot by Robin. Never mess with a woman who's capable of sprouting multiple arms.
No! Herman! Get her!
Thanks a bunch, lady. You guys may have beat us once,
but we're not gonna lose to you on dry land!
And the pirates who were slaves start going up against the new fishmen pirates.
The human slaves are on the loose!
Huh? I've lost sight of him. And we cut to Brook, who's apparently facing off against Zio.
I'm right here, you fool. But by the time you notice me, it will be too late. Camouflaged carpet!
Huh? I just heard a voice coming from over here! And then Brook stabs right where Zio's trying to sneak up on with him. It's like, Zio, you may be invisible, but if people got good hearing, they can hear you and pinpoint where you are. And Brook has that as he stabs into Zio.
Ugh. How about that, skeleton? My weapon-shattering body sword crush has ruined the tip of your sword.
I just stabbed you, didn't I?
That's what you think, until the moment you are defeated, fool!
And he takes out his chain weight and whips it around his neck.
Hidden flail! 66 headlock!
As Brook's head, he may be invisible, but he is also stupid. Even Absalom had a better way of camouflaging himself. Absalom was smarter than Zio, but Zio wraps his chain around Brook's head and then rips it off. Over the last 2 years, I finally discovered the true power of Revive fruit. I died once, and my soul should have traveled to the land of the dead. But in order to remain in the world of the living, my soul must expend an enormous amount of energy, almost that of a living body. By playing music, I can rock the souls of others, drawing them into my world, and even showing them illusions. Once removed from my body, I found my soul was visible to others. I truly do exist in the world of the living.
I have defeated one of the Straw Hat Pirates!
Not quite. The power that keeps me alive in this world is not organs, flesh, or blood. No, it is
my soul!
As Brook's soul reconnects his head right back to his body.
Yeah! Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to fight. Yeah, here we go!
So long as my bones do not take a single scratch, you cannot say that your attacks cut me to the bone. And now see my hidden cane sword, my cane blade forged for me by the Long Arm clan. Its name is Soul Solid.
Whoa, that's cold.
Any slash adorned with my soul brings the chill of the dead with it. As it shows Brook's sword just emanating the cool breeze you would see on stuff that's in the freezer. It's just chilled with the souls of the dead. Observe the freezing blade. And then it shows an icy slash that starts to creep up on Zio's face.
I can't be the one left out. I can't be the only one left out. Everyone else has new tricks to show off before we hit the new world.
Goes to Usopp as he's facing off against Daruma.
You that curious about your friends? Yeah! Don't worry, you'll be shark food like the rest of them! Fireball cutter!
As Daruma is cloaked in fire and he launches at Usopp.
Yo! Take this! Gah-gah! Gah-gah! Looks like you're the third wheel in this crew! All you've done is shoot wildly and miss! Settle down, mole shark. I'm a cookie cutter shark! Yeah! I've just finished setting up my traps. It'll take 1, 2, 3 moves for me to snipe you, and then you're done for. What nonsense are you talking about? Quit dreaming, you little weakling! Is that just sour grapes because you can't fight? Dang, I've totally lost my edge. In the past, I'd have told a huge whopper, but now I actually make it happen.
As Usopp puts his goggles on. Then it shows more and more fishmen fighting each other as the crowd cheers on. And then a Den Den Mushi chimes in. Gotcha. Is this the Minister of the Left? Border guards reporting in. I'm on the edge of the square with His Majesty. What news do you have of Noah and the princess and princes? I don't have time to report any details. Please pass on this message to the rest of the kingdom. Noah has lost its momentum and is now falling straight back down to Fishman Island. What? Where are you now? The air tank control room. Then inform everyone of the kingdom's peril. Sorry, I had to burp there. So distracting. You can link up to our administrative transponder snail and broadcast to our troops across the island. Hurry! Yes, sir. This is a message to the entire kingdom from the air tank above Fishman Island. An emergency evacuation has been declared. Noah the Ark is falling towards the island once more. Make your way off the island at once. Look, it's just what we feared.
Hurry! Abandon your belongings!
I'm not abandoning. If I was in that situation, I'm not abandoning my PS5. It's just like that one dude who apparently got out of an apartment fire, but he took his PS5 with him, and when he got out. Oh, there it is. I flipped the page and I forgot where I was.
The bubble's gonna burst! Evacuate to the outside water! The island's about to be crashed!
To the sea! Then we cut back to Nami.
No way! Is it coming again? What about Luffy?
What happened to Princess Shirahoshi, Luffy?
Is it Deckard again? That insane pirate! We gotta get out of here!
Then it declares, then we get some more announcements again. Straw Hat Luffy! We're the guys from the air tank you met a few moments ago.
Straw Hat? What are they broadcasting?
We've overheard everything going on. Noah's in our sights now as it falls towards the island. Noah's in our sights now as it falls towards the island.
What are they doing? The broadcast is going out to everyone in the entire country.
Luffy, what should we do about Noah?
Shirahoshi. Straw Hat.
We have to leave our fate entirely in your hands. What are they talking about? I heard... Oh, wait.
Luffy, what should we do about Noah?
Shirahoshi. Straw Hat.
We have to leave our fate entirely in your hands. What are they talking about? I heard the princess's voice.
Straw Hat? Isn't he the kidnapper?
The human one! I don't care about all that. Just do it.
That's Luffy's voice! Please, Luffy. Fishman Island is in your hands!
Why are the border guards asking a human pirate for help? Is he trying to do something for us? A human? To Noah? Hey, Straw Hat.
Prince Fukaboshi!
I finally know Hody Jones's true nature.
Hody Jones's true nature? all in the present now.
Brother Hoshi! I see a shadow. It's Noah!
Hody is a monster, born from his environment. The new fishmen pirates are monsters created by hatred. They live in fear of their ancestors' hatred being forgotten. Live in fear of the day that the anger at the humans is forgotten. They live in the hope that their holy war is just that. It's just that the humans are evil. They desire blood. They do not even want peace for Fishman Island.
Then we get the flashback where we find out what Hody answered Fukaboshi when he says, "What in the world happened to you in the past? What did the humans do to you?"
Yeah. Nothing. We were chosen by fate and given great power to deliver judgment upon humankind.
That is Hody Jones's entire motivation. What did the humans do to him to make him what he is? Absolutely nothing. He sees himself as chosen to exact judgment on humankind just because. The insanity of it all.
This hatred they wield is entirely void of any kind of experience and will. Hody is entirely empty, and there is no substance within him.
And it shows Luffy and Hody Jones's face that is almost completely whited over. He's just gone mentally. And that's the end of chapter 643. Onwards to chapter 644. But first, an SBS. Dear Odachi, draw these Navy officers as children. Sengoku, Garp, Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji, please. Signed, Emukichi. Answer, oh, you're trying the seduction angle. Let's see, you didn't specify an age, so I'll just assume you're a 22-year-old beauty in a bikini. In that case, sure. Oh, and this is the end of the SBS. See you next volume. And since we don't have any more voice actors, it's just going to be straight chapters from here on in and no more SBSs afterwards. So, we got Garp, who's at a young age, has that scar underneath his eye, riding on a tiger, wielding a pipe and a chunk of treasure. Just like Ace, Sabo, and Luffy did when they were kids. Then we have Sengoku, who's writing kanji out in front of him. And he still has, and even at a young age, he had that big, massive afro. Then we have Kizaru, chilling out in reading in the dark, but writing in the dark, with like a big old hat on his head, just going like, whoo, with that same old facial expression, just being all happy and chipper writing. Then we have Kuzan, who's carrying around some shades, drinking some drink, and he looks very disheveled, almost as if he's homeless, because he has one shoe on, one shoe off, and he's carrying a knapsack with him. Then we have Akainu, whose clothes are ripped and torn as well as a kid, with a hat over his head and a knife in his hand with that same old expression he has on his face. So we got Garp, Sengoku, Borsalino, Kizaru, Sakazuki, Akainu, and then Kuzan Aokiji. Chapter 644, To Nothing. Decks of the World, Volume 27. Jaya, Southbird loves Northbird, plus Westbird and Eastbird. And we have the different types of directional birds. What's happening up beyond the sky?
Hody's true nature?
Don't stop! Keep moving!
As the citizens are running, as the shadow of Noah looms overhead of the entire nation.
This hatred they wield is entirely void of any kind of experience at all. Hody is entirely empty. There is no substance within him. Empty?
What is Prince Fukaboshi trying to say?
Just run for it! I can already see Noah above!
And it gets closer and closer, as Hody has completely lost it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Sir Hody looks even more fierce than before!
Goes Shirahoshi. Why is she calling him Sir Hody? But then we have the air tank crew as they're aiming. And Hody is just huffing and puffing like he's losing everything. And he's lost it. He's lost it. He's doing nothing but laughing now. He's going,
yeah! Yeah! Humans are an inferior race. Oh, humans are an inferior race. Never forget that, Hody. Their existence is evil. With the beginning of the age of pirates, people die every day on Fishman Island. The humans have gone mad and abduct young fish people left and right. We are on a crash course with death. Fishman Island is ruined.
He blew up one of the slave shops on the surface?
Yeah, he made the supreme sacrifice to accomplish it. But he took out 8 humans with him. It was a bloodbath. There were limbs and guts all over the place. Praise the hero who killed those humans. Never forget his death. Let's celebrate! Go for a toast! Eat it, humans.
As we have Hody Jones as a kid, along with Zio, Dosun, Daruma, and Icarus Much. And I think we also see like a little squid that's right next to Icarus as well.
Eat it, humans.
That human is so cool, he.
Arlong just sunk a human pirate ship! Yeah!
This is a holy war. Long ago, the scum known as mankind feared and envied the superior fishmen who had been granted great natural strength. So their answer was oppression. These human worms, choking the land above, used their only advantage against us, sheer numbers. They drove us underwater to the bottom of the sea.
And this is Arlong speaking with Karubi and Hody Jones directly in front of him.
Listen close, boys. You must curse the humans!
See? Hatred is not learned. Hatred is not born in a person. It's taught to them. It's taught. So, me saying like hatred isn't learned, it can be learned. But hatred is not in a person at birth. But it can be taught.
You must curse the humans!
Yeah, I've known a human named Rayleigh for years. He's a strange one. Never shrunk back in disgust for me. Hody?
And it shows Hachi telling these stories, and we also see what looks to be like a young girl holding a crystal ball that looks eerily like Madame Charlie.
Hody?
I don't like your stories, Hachi. They make me sick.
See? Hearing stories about humans from a person who likes humans after being told to hate humans already has in Hody's mind that humans are disgusting. Anything talking about good about humans is evil and sickening to me.
I don't like your stories, Hachi. They make me sick. The humans are terrified of the day of judgment they know is coming. For our moment of vengeance.
Don't forget our history. Imagine the anger of our fallen brethren. Inherit their fury.
Inherit the hatred. It's almost like the Uchiha clan before Sasuke. Terrible news! Our hero Fisher Tiger, freer of slaves, has been killed by humans!
What?
So Tiger wasn't our chosen hero either. And it shows Dosun. It shows Dosun, Zio, Icarus Much, and Daruma, along with a whole bunch of people with masks over their faces. This is the Fishman version of the clan, and clan with a K. This is their version of that, as they got like a whole lynch mob outside of a house. They got torches and everything. Who are you? Get out of here!
We heard you gave blood to a human.
Only because he was dying before my eyes. Ah! As the entire house gets set on fire, and I guess the dad gets killed as well.
This country is mad, from the king on down. It wants to forgive the humans.
And this is Hody when he's a little bit older in the army of Neptune.
Didn't you hear about Jinbei? He's one of the 7 warlords now. The Arlong crew is the only force trying to keep the proper balance between species.
Hey, the island's in a huge uproar, people! Queen Otohime was shot by a human!
You see that? This is what humans do. They don't even show mercy to the kind souls who want peace. If the royal family won't show some pride and strike back, then we can't trust our kingdom any longer! We don't need this worthless country! And now the leader of the shameless has been taken to heaven. If you're evil enough to forgive the humans, death is what you deserve.
And then Hody is drinking with his buddies, praising the fact that, because we all know that he's the one who killed Otohime, so he's praising himself for killing her. And then he drops like a bag in front of him as they're having a drink right now.
We must have our vengeance. The time is now. Finally, the heavens have chosen us and given us power.
Yeah! What is this?
Goes Daruma.
The legendary drug, Chi?
Goes Ikaros.
How'd you get it, Dosun?
Goes Dosun.
Can you manufacture these?
I'll give it a try. Now we can unite the Fishman District against the throne.
This is a holy war. Begin the preparations. Prepare to kill humans for as long as you draw breath. That is.
And that's when they created their own personal mark, where it's where it's like a cross out symbol, but it has a human with their head detached from their shoulders.
We have been chosen to undertake our righteous vengeance. The day of judgment is at hand! You wicked inferior race! We give our lives for our vengeance!
As we cut to the present, with Hody still chasing after Shirahoshi. Careful! Unlike the bubble that protects this island, this one will go right through the ship! We need to surround Noah! If it goes past the ship, we've wasted our time! We were too late. After we lost the hearts of the Fishman District, and this is Prince Fukaboshi, they became the darkest emotions of Fishman Island, cut off from the rest of the populace.
Escape to the outer sea!
Deep in the lawless district down on the seafloor, a terrible hatred built up, and we pretended not to see it. Prince Fukaboshi! We focused only on outward appearances. Your signatures! And pretended we were making progress. Where are you going? Let me go. No one's coming down on us.
I know it must be hard for you, but you must hold back your anger and hatred for the humans. Don't pass it on to the children.
And this is when St. Miasgard landed in Fishman Island and Otohime protected him. We were too late for them. They are what Mother feared most of all. We should have started by fighting inward. Our mother was murdered by the hatred of Fishman Island. I suspect that she knew this might happen.
Whoever the culprit is, don't let hatred consume you.
But somewhere in my heart, I held that hatred of humans.
Prince Fukaboshi.
The sorrow of the dead belongs to the dead. Hatred is an illusion that the living create and amplify on their own. This man better preach. We happened to overlook the hatred for humans that was building in the Fishman District. And by the time we noticed it, that hatred was a power beyond our control. You, as it cuts to Kami and Hachi. At this rate, Fishman Island will destroy itself with its hatred of humankind. Please, Straw Hat, we do not need our past! Reduce it to nothing! Vanquish these ghosts that distanced us from the sun!
Yes! We hit our target!
As a bubble starts to engulf Noah. With your hand, reduce Fishman Island to nothing!
Nonsense, Fukaboshi! The hatred of the Fishman is eternal!
Brother Hoshi, goes Luffy. If I'm free to do what I need to, then don't worry. Hey, did you hear who's fighting Hody's gang in Concord Plaza?
The Straw Hat Crew!
And so is Jinbei. What?
That's Luffy's voice.
From the moment we landed in the square, we and Jinbei decided that we wouldn't let anyone on Fishman Island be hurt. Anyone! Leave it to us, Brother Hoshi, as it cuts to not only the mermaid quintuplets, but also Jinbei and the rest of the Straw Hats. Leave it to us, Brother Hoshi! We're friends, aren't we? And then Fukaboshi is just crying his eyes out. Hey, don't stop now! And we suspected this human of wrongdoing, the Minister of the Right thinks to himself as he looks up at the shadow of Noah. I'm staying here!
What are you talking about? Me too!
Me too, and me!
I'm not running!
Neither am I!
Sir Noah is surrounded by air.
Yeah, Wimpy Hoshi, stay by my side, and I'll make sure you don't get hurt.
I will!
This'll be over in a snap.
Nothing will be over. We possess strength straight from the heavens.
If that's the case, then how come your strength hasn't been able to take down Luffy, and you are covered in hits from Luffy? Where's that strength? Just wondering. You're spouting all this, but I see no evidence for it.
Nothing will be over. We possess a strength straight from the heavens.
Gear 2, armament! And we see Luffy using Gear 2nd, and then his arm starts to sizzle underwater. Come, Fire Fist Pistol! As Luffy's arm starts to heat up underwater.
This time, I'll chew your arm right off!
But Hody doesn't even get to fully finish that sentence as Luffy hits him with Red Hawk! Sorry, that didn't sound good. Hody gets punched with Red Hawk! Yeah, that's much better. It's a lot louder. And he hits Hody with enough force that the punch from behind Hody ignites underwater. And that is the end of chapter 644. Onwards to chapter 645. Death is another form of revenge. Decks of the World, Volume 28. Skypiea. Amazon sells tickets to Rubber Band Island. And Amazon is the lady in Skypiea that was also taking photos of people who would pass through the gates illegally. She has now created like this little shop that's patterned off of Usopp. Charging 30 million for people to go into Rubber Band Land. Interesting. But it shows Hody, and it's just it's a couple of wordless panels as Hody, we see the impact emanate from Hody from the back. His back is singed underwater. You gotta realize how hot this attack must be for Hody to still be burned deep underwater where water is colder than normal. And he still got burned by this. And Hody is coughing up blood. And Luffy launches him through the distance in the water as he gets sent flying into the Noah. You hope that's inflation? Who knows how the money economy, how the economy works in Skypiea? Because nobody will pay 30 million. 30 million Skypiea dollars. But wait a minute. Didn't we find out how much that costs? We found out how much the conversion rate when they were saying that it's going to cost everyone like 7 million berries for everyone to pay for it. And it was like a million per person, or it was $1 million for everyone or something. We know the conversion rate for it, but I can't remember it at this time. But whatever it is, if it's 30 million in Skypiea, it is way higher in comparison to actual berries. But we cut back to Shirahoshi and Luffy. Full speed ahead, Wimpy Hoshi!
Right!
As she starts swimming towards the Noah. And then Hody is embedded into the Noah, and he gets up and he's coughing up. He's coughing, but I thought he was coughing up. You forgot lots of things? It's all good. My memories of things that happened in previous volumes is starting to get a little bit better, so I can remember a couple of these things. But Hody, embedded into the Noah's deck, starts slurping something, and he's just stuffing his face with more energy steroids, and then his eyes get bloodshot. He's overdosing. He is overdosing on pills. This man has been popping energy steroids like pills to dull out pain. And my thing is, he's been eating tons of them. Sometimes eating whole handfuls like they're like a bag of M&Ms. I haven't had M&Ms in a minute. I need to go out and get myself some. I'm feeling like eating some M&Ms today. But he's just chomping on energy steroids over and over and over again. Air! As Luffy's now inside the Noah and he can use his full strength. Kia Thondo!
Come on, Luffy, you can do it!
as Luffy's arm gets big and the Noah gets closer and closer and closer and closer to Fishman Island. The shadow gets darker. What do you mean you aren't getting out of here? Are you crazy? How do you think Noah's gonna stop falling? I don't know, but after hearing Hode's broadcast, I don't think there was any way to survive. I didn't think there was any way to survive. But think back to when we were kids, over 20 years ago. Think of the only human the people of our nation truly appreciated. Years back, I owed a young Neptune a favor. We shared a drink to mark our friendship. And the shadow of this person is Whitebeard.
What? You gotta be kidding me! Why is he siding with the fishmen? Please, I swear I'll never kidnap a fishman or mermaid again. Just don't kill me! Get your filthy hands off of my pal's country, you snot-nosed little punks!
And it's Whitebeard. It's Whitebeard, back then defending Fishman Island. Because he owed Neptune a favor. And then we have the Whitebeard pirates at the time. And in this group, we see Jozu, we see Marco, and we also see Teach at this time, who's wielding a pair of claw weapons that may or may not be the kind that gave Shanks his scar. So at this time, Teach was still part of Whitebeard's crew.
This island is my territory now.
You mean Whitebeard? You want to trust these guys the same way we trusted the great Whitebeard? I know what you mean, but even though I hate humans, even though this is supposed to be our kingdom, they spoke of being our friends. They're risking their lives for us. And Madame Charlie's looking up, thinking back to her prophecy.
My fangs are not for show, Straw Hat. I know they must be taking a toll on you.
As it shows that Luffy is still bleeding after Hody bit him in the shoulder earlier on. He could get a 9-digit bounty on toughness alone.
Fishman Jiu-Jitsu! Water Heart!
Keep your distance, Whippy Hoshi.
Okay.
Shark Pack!
As Hody summons these large bits of water, large piles of water, and throws it at Luffy that turn into shark. It might as well be like a water-style shark bomb jutsu from Kisame Hoshigaki, but it's not the same. But it's just water sharks being launched at Luffy. Come! And the sharks launch at Luffy, but they miss him completely. And then Luffy's arm not only gets big, but it also turns completely black. And then Hody can only look in shock as Luffy hits him with an elephant gun! And he just bodies Hody into the deck. And then the air tank crew is looking.
Fall, Noah. Fall! Slaughter these fishmen who have lost their pride!
And then Luffy doesn't stop punching. He just keeps going one after the other. Just one after the other. And then it gets faster. And it gets faster and faster and faster.
Ah! There's more? We just lost the signal. What's happening over there?
He's trying to destroy the legendary Ark!
Is that even possible? I just assumed he was going to get Decken to do something.
I'm not letting this ship hit the island!
I have an update. Strawhead Luffy is currently far above the island.
Sir Luffy's wounds are ailing him terribly.
Because Luffy is still punching, but that's causing more blood to fly out of him. Come! Help us, Straw Hat.
Destroying Noah! I have an update. Straw Hat Luffy is currently far above the island, destroying Noah!
Come! Elephant Gatling! And then Luffy just unleashes a massive torrent of elephant guns all over the deck of Noah, just constantly, over and over and over again.
In an attempt to save the island!
He's destroying Noah?
In addition, Hody Jones, captain of the new Fishman Pirates, has been defeated by Luffy!
No, it's all over!
way he can destroy that entire ship. Let's get the heck out of here!
And Zio, seeing some members trying to leave, wraps their chain around his neck, going,
Zio, please have mercy. The island is done for.
and before he even says anything, Zio hits him in the stomach with the weight, trying to kill them both.
Death is another form of revenge. Die and curse humankind from beyond the grave. This tragedy shall become our flesh and blood. Hatred is never forgotten. It is passed on and will always lead to vengeance.
That's crazy. You officers are gone mad.
And it was the humans who drove us to madness. You're not going anywhere. You'll stay here and focus your rage on them. Kablam!
As the officers are turning on their own crew members who don't want to die and telling them dying is better for our cause. Just keep hating humankind so that the hatred still exists.
Every calamity that has befallen our kind has its roots in humanity! Zablam!
And the children are looking on.
Are humans really that scary?
Don't be foolish. Throughout our history, humans have done countless unspeakable things to...
Enough, goes Madame Charlie as she talks to the children.
Look with your own eyes. Watch what is happening in the square, above the sky. It is humans that are fighting those pirates from the Fishman district. That one too? Okay, almost half of them aren't quite human, but my point is to watch for yourself. If you don't do that, you have no right to say anything. You must witness what is about to happen with clear, honest eyes, free from preconception. If you will not die in battle, then I shall kill you myself so that your souls will curse humanity forever.
Yeah! As Zio is trying to kill his own men. Oh, stop that! These are your own men! As Brooke chimes in to save some members of the new Fishmen pirates from their own commanding officers.
You saved us! Thank you, Skeleton Mask!
Now listen here. You've never actually died, have you? You say that your hatred remains after death? Poppycock! Death leaves nothing behind. Every living thing leaves nothing but bones!
Coming from you, I believe it.
Most appreciated. I absolutely detest those who refuse to treat life with the respect it deserves. I will hold my nose in your presence if I had a nose to hold!
Ha! Aren't you the ones wasting your lives here? Stick together if you wish. But when Noah falls onto this island, every one of you humans will perish. Though I must admit, I'm not sure if you count as human.
Our Captain Straw Hat Luffy will one day be the king of the pirates. Believing that as we do, what reason have we to panic? And now I shall fulfill my duty. Wait a sec. Where'd my swords go? Shoo. How do I fight you now? As Hyozo's swords are completely broken, but we just see his tentacles dripping in the poison of the blue ring octopus. I say again, the blue ring octopus is one of the scariest creatures that exists in this world. Like, hold on, let me bring this up. Blue ring octopus venom. There's enough venom within one blue ring octopus that's capable of killing 26 people within minutes. Yes. And the toxin exists on in every organ and gland of its body. Everywhere. Its heart, its gills, everywhere. Every part of its body is dangerous. Like, I'm looking at this. Can result in nausea, respiratory arrest, heart failure, severe and sometimes total paralysis, blindness, and can lead to death within minutes if not treated. Death is usually from suffocation due to paralysis of the diaphragm. So think about that for a sec. The type of poison that Hyozo's capable of using as a blue-ringed octopus is enough to kill 26 people. 26 full-grown adults in minutes. So Zoro better be glad he's never touched it. Shoo, how'd I fight you now?
Mushi! Normally I'd work my way up to it, but this time I'll skip right to my ultimate attack.
How you like this? Surprise?
How you like this? Surprise!
Goes Wadatsumi as he's still big, holding his mouth closed so that air won't escape because he's really big.
Yeah, I think that should do. Consider me surprised.
Great!
In that case, shall we finish this fight, Jinbei?
Very well.
Yeah! What the heck is that monster? Yeah! Where did that come from? Chopper? The little shrimp got huge!
The little shrimp got huge.
And Chopper is in its monster point.
Chopper! No! You didn't need to go berserk, right?
Don't worry, Usopp. I'm fine.
Huh?
Because Chopper is okay. He's okay. But that's the end of chapter 645. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume, chapter 646, Frog. Decks of the World, volume 29. Skypea Rubber Band Land attractions. Nola's bungee jumping and Isa the Sphere Cloud Vendor. So Isa has grown up a little bit more, let her hair grit out, and all the children are enjoying this amusement park that used to be inside the Forest of Death, like this big forest where the vassals of Eneru used to fight and everything, specifically Satori. They basically turned the entire forest into one big massive a theme park.
Chopper! How did you?
I learned how to fight in this state for 3 minutes with a rumble ball. Now you don't have to worry about me going berserk on you.
I don't believe it! So rather than rampaging wildly, you can help us out! Excellent!
You can't butter me up like that, you jerk.
Okay, that's creepy.
As Chopper's doing his little dance, but he's doing it as in his monster form.
I grow tired of this nonsense, Josun! I don't care how big you get. I'll blast you to the ends of the earth. Go!
Yeah! How dare you chat with your friend in the middle of a battle? You will pay for such insolence!
Goes Daruma, because I just feel like he's the twitchy, fast-talking type.
Yaha! Yeah? Green star, human drakes. These plants with man-shaped roots leap out of the ground to ensnare any prey foolish enough to trot over their heads. Yeah! Get off! What are these plants? Plants from up on the surface?
And then Daruma hits something and gets launched in the air. You don't like what Chopper did with... You don't like what Oda did with Chopper? What did he do with Chopper? What did he do with Chopper? What did Oda do with Chopper? Let me guess. You preferred that he would still be berserk? Or whatever? What are you saying? You don't like what Oda did with Chopper? Please, elaborate for the class.
Yeah! Now what?
As Daruma gets launched in the air. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss your question.
Green star, Trampolia. Any approaching foes are sent flying.
He made him less menacing? But I don't think that was Oda's intention. I don't think Oda okay, let me just say this. During the time when Monster Point was a thing, yes, it was terrifying. But the way you're making it sound, Kohagen, is that you would have preferred if his Monster Point was still terrifying and still scary. But I feel like that's not what Oda intended to happen at all. Well, intended to keep happening after the time skip. At the very least, Chopper can still be terrifying, but he has control over that power. What made it terrifying was he's too much a mascot. Is that an issue? I don't see that as a downside. For him to have learned how to control his power, that's fine. He doesn't have to go berserk anymore. And I say this as a person that wants the Hulk to remain a berserker in the MCU. So, Yeah, I kind of flip-flop between that type of ideology.
Green Star, Trampolia! Any approaching foes are sent flying. And once you've been launched into the air, you're completely helpless up there.
For you it is. See, Cohagen, I've noticed that there's quite a few things that you're just not a fan of in this series, such as the Davy Back fight, or Chopper no longer being like this terrifying monster with his monster form, or how we Americans use feet instead of meters. There's a lot of things, there's quite a few things that I've noticed that you're just not a big fan of. It's not enough to turn you off this series, but I've noticed over the years that it's been one of those, like, hey, I respect you for you having things that you like and don't like about the series,
but don't expect me to go along with it!
Moochie! Fascinating! You claim you can crush me with one blow? Even if my squid spears bounce harmlessly off of you, I've got a hidden spear that can pierce any target. Like you're the one going down in a single shot.
as it shows that underneath Icaros's head is, under his hat, is this big, solid, spear-like arrow-tip shape at the top of his head.
Light Bride Spear!
On the meters park as a joke, I know. I'm just, what I said, when I added in the meters part at the end, that was the joke on my part, but I know what you mean.
Light Bride Spear!
As the arrow that's on top of Icaros's head lights up.
I'm gonna tear a giant hole right through ya, including you there in the cockpit!
Don't waste your time. In the face of my ultimate attack, your glowing spear don't mean squid.
Then we cut back to Hyozo and Zoro. I can't cut a man down. I can't cut down a man with no will to fight. Get lost, you ugly frog.
Frog?
And then Hyozo launches at Zoro as his swords are dripping.
You think you're gonna finish the fight? You didn't actually tweak me into puffing up like this, Dumbo! I'm just gonna roll over and squish all your little friends, you little friends down there.
Here we go. This is my range, Skeleton Man. The instant you step within this circle, I will pulverize your bones to dust. So, we cut from Frankie, we cut from Usopp to Daruma, Ikaros to Frankie, Zoro to Hyozo, Sanji to Wadatsumi along with Jinbei, and then lastly to Zio with Brook. This is my range, Skeleton Man. The instant you step within this circle, I will pulverize your bones to dust. And Brook is just humming to himself. Oh, pardon me. I seem to have broken your circle and slashed you already. There's a chill about. Do be careful.
What? When did you get behind?
Song of Scratches. Blizzard Slash! As Brook sheaths his sword, and a frozen slice appears right up Zio's body in an instant. And then the slash itself explodes from the force of the blow, and Zio starts to fall as Brook goes, and now, a haiku. The land of the dead sends a sharp blood-freezing gale to flip up all skirts.
Special attack! Green Star!
And while we cut to Usopp fighting Daruma, he shoots a star in the air that turns into like a big wolf.
Another surface monster? So, it thinks it'll tangle me up again. I'll tear it to shreds. I wouldn't do that. The bulb at the front emits a powerful shockwave 3 meters across. Impact Wolf!
And and it sends out a shockwave akin to that of like a impact dial. And it hits Daruma full force and sends him flying.
Yeah!
Dosan Doka Bakum! I'll smash you as far as the eye can see. Dablow! Kablam! Papara Hammer!
Cloven Rose!
Kaboom! Megaboom!
Boom! And using his big hand, Chopper just swipes at Dosan, sending him flying.
Blah, blah!
And he breaks his entire hammer and also breaks his face.
Dosan!
drink. Take this! Feel the deadly wrath of the spear that pierces even the mountains on the seafloor!
And then Frankie gets out of General Frankie as Icaros runs straight towards him. And then he puts his hands together.
Frankie Radical Beam!
And he actually shoots a laser beam from in between his hands.
Holy squid!
And Chopper and Usopp go like,
A laser beam!
and both Nami and Robin are just so nonchalant about a laser beam because they don't care about that sort of things like the guys do. They're just looking at it silent. Their speech bubble is black with just silence. And then Icaros has been charbroiled.
Fishman karate, secret art.
And then Jinbei gathers up some water in his hands.
Dude, I know you are a warlord, but even still, that ain't gonna do a thing to Watatsumi's giant body.
Vagabond drill!
And Jinbei hits the side of Watatsumi's body with enough force to send water shooting up from his other side. Girls, it depends on the girls, but a lot of them aren't into mechs. They don't know what's cool. Mechs are awesome. Transforming robots are awesome. Seeing two dudes fight with swords and they dash past one another and one falls over and the other sheaths their sword again. That's awesome. That's awesome. They're missing out. They're missing out on the awesome. But Jinbei hits Watatsumi with enough force to send a giant stream of water shooting out the other side of Watatsumi. This is
Gyujin Karate Ogi! Braikan!
and Watatsumi opens his mouth,
The blast of water went straight to his body!
and Watatsumi starts spinning around,
Leaking air!
and he shoots into the air after letting out all that air.
That's unbelievable! Inconceivable! Impossible!
How do you like the sky, balloon fish?
How's he flying?
And Sanji's in there right there with Watatsumi.
Think back on those 2 horrible years. Why was I subjected to those abject terrors?
He's burning?
Because Sanji's whole body's just on fire. His hair is turned upward as if he went Super Saiyan.
Let those reminders be charred into ash! Hell memories!
And Sanji kicks Watatsumi with such force that Watatsumi's whole body gets engulfed in flames.
That was impossible. Well, that saves me a little time. When cooking pufferfish, you start by draining the poison. Let's see how you like my poison blades. Don't bother, you ugly frog. You ever seen a frog with this many limbs? You seen a frog with poison this deadly? I'm the best from Fishman Island. I'm Fyoso, the master of the Octopus 8 sword style.
And Zoro just looks back on him, puts all of his swords up, and then slashes Hyozo with
Purgatory Onigiri!
Yeah! Hyozo!
My mistake.
All the officers are down!
I thought you were some frog from a very tiny pond.
To be continued in One Piece Volume 66. In the next volume, we are done with Volume 65, ladies and gentlemen. And the next volume will spell the end of the Fishman Island arc. Then we move in to Punk Hazard. And I think my voice will finally be able to get a bit of a rest from all these scraggly sounding voices. Because in the Punk Hazard arc, there's not that many voices that require voices that sound like this. So that'll give me a rest vocal range wise. But I also get to voice some characters because after Punk Hazard, it's Dressrosa! And Dressrosa's gonna be fun. So to everyone here, I am done reading One Piece for today. As I said yesterday and some days before, there will be no One Piece reading tomorrow on Saturday, as I have a prior engagement that me reading will interfere with. So we will continue with the next volume on Monday. Well, finally got to listen to a full broadcast. Mihawk said that to Zoro first. Yeah, he did say that to Zoro first. Japanese Flea, you finally got to listen to a full broadcast? Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I really hope you had a good time. But like I said, I'll continue with volume 66 as we finish Fishman Island and enter into Punk Hazard on Monday. And then we'll keep going. Like I said, me skipping over Saturday still shows that I'm going to be able to finish on the 11th of August. So we'll be done soon. The time is winding up. Time is winding up for this series. And I got to say, it's been a fun ride. It's been one heck of a ride. And I just want to say thank you for making this one of the most fun endeavors I've ever done in the history of this entire channel. But I'm done. Time for me to go eat. Time for me to check on the boys because I'm manning the house by myself today. And I hope all I can say to everyone here right now is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, because this helps the channel, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.